Right, then we are back with another shortlist for you guys, and this one is really hard to get a title out of, I'm going to be honest. But this is the players with only a year left on their contracts. So we've seen big money signings linked with, we've talked about those household names, those lucrative free agents that are possibilities. We're going to start looking at some of the young players that we could bring in as well. But an interesting one to keep an eye on in this transfer window is the players with 1 year left on those contracts. They're usually available at a really, really, really good price, and they're generally some pretty good players in the mixer as well. Because you can't just approach them like you can with a player who's out of contract, but you know the club's got a massive decision to make at this point, the 12-month out sort of stage. It's past the key 18-month out kind of stage, which is where a club will typically start negotiating and then get a final answer on whether the player's staying or not. If they get to the 12-month stage, more than likely that player is about to leave, and the club can probably get a decent fee for them if they let them go now rather than let them go for free in the following window. So I put together a little bit of a shortlist for players that could be gotten cheaply, because I keep saying this, but some people aren't getting it. United are going to have to cut their cloth accordingly this year. We might get one big 70, 80 million pound signing, but expect most of them to be 40 million or lower. A couple of free transfers I think will probably be in the game as well. So here's what I think we could get, and we could get some really good positions filled out as well as some really good players. So let's start then with Nordi Mukiele, and that is at RB Leipzig. He's a right back or a centre back. He's 24. Value around about 25 million. Been integral part of Leipzig's success. Shown that he's got the metal to thrive in a high pressing, high line kind of system. Got the skill set that you need to play in that sort of system. He's an outstanding defender. He excels in 1v1 situations, which is the true mark of any defender. Reads the game well, but also got that pace that can get him out of trouble just in case that he overcooks it at some point as well. Very combative. Someone that you could see being a crowd favourite because of that combative nature. Really well-rounded and just an excellent defender. Only registered 5 assists in the competition last season, but he's still a significant upgrade for us defensively, as well as being absolutely no worse than Wan-Bissaka or even Delo going forward, and without the huge cost associated with either of those two, bizarrely. Next on the list then, a player that I've had in my mind for, I want to say 5 years, 4 years definitely, but probably 5 years, and that's Houssem Aouar from Lyon. He's 23 now. Could be around 30 million or so, obviously 12 months left to go on his contract. He's quite simply the kind of player that makes things happen. For me, he is what Pogba does without the circus. So he's that kind of player. Like, he operates in that sort of left half space. He looks to get the ball forward. He's got a good range of passing, good vision. 8 goals and 4 assists this season, which from midfield's not crazy. But there's, he's got levels that he can get to still. He plays in central midfield. He doesn't really play that high up, but he does have the characteristics of being a player that could play a little bit higher up. From the deeper positions that he's played in, he's got fantastic range of passing, and he progresses the ball really well, moves it up into the left sort of channel, and also he switches it and sticks it into the right as well. His dribbling's outrageous, and that's what reminds me of Pogba with him a little bit, and he tops it off with vision, and vision and awareness are absolutely fantastic. He's skillful in the air for a central midfielder, and 5'9", I think he is. So he's different to Pogba in that sense, but very good finisher from open play, very good footballer. Next up would be Youri Tielemans. We've spoke about him quite a lot. Could be gettable for around 30, 40 million. He's 25 years of age. Not at his best season, and Leicester haven't had their best season at all. But he seemed like he's almost had half an eye on playing elsewhere. He is an immensely talented footballer, and he should revamp his form with a move, especially if it is a move to a bigger club. He's got Premier League experience, so that isn't a shock, and there's good value buying players from the Premier League. He's intelligent, he's technically gifted, he's a playmaker that's also got a little bit of a bite to him. He does many things which really fit the go-to sort of top-class playmaker kind of mould. He can influence the game in a number of different ways. He's a player that looks to really optimise and utilise space. He's great in possession. He's good at moving the ball forward. His passing is good. His dribbling is good. But he's also versatile, and his effectiveness is shown by not only his quality on the ball, but physically. The intelligence that he uses when it comes to when the opposition have the ball. The composure that he's got in high-pressure situations means that he executes really, really good ideas and good decisions, which is something that you can't buy. His vision and passing are obvious things that you can state for him as a central midfielder, but he's really good for vertical kind of passing. That's something that Leicester, when they're at their best, is something that they do really well. They break the lines and they move the ball directly forward rather than a lot of sideways kind of stuff. And he's strong with both feet. His striking and his technical ability is just great. His passing is fantastic, but his ability to strike a ball from distance, it's up there. Really, really good footballer, and someone's going to get an absolute gem of a player for next to nothing. Another name then, another Leipzig player, and that's Konrad Laimer. 25 million. Again, all these players are at the perfect sort of age profile, 24, 25, 23. You can really build a solid midfield with some of these guys. Now, Laimer's made a name for himself with properly dynamic performances and a properly dynamic team in Leipzig. They're renowned for being an absolute pressing machine, and according to FB Ref, Laimer ranks in the 99th percentile for pressures per 90, but statistically leads Europe overall in pressures. He doesn't just press for the sake of it. He's also into the 99th percentile for successful presses. If you want the ball back, this kid's getting you the ball back. How about that? He's relentless. He's absolutely non-stop. And he's the energizer bunny that would really spark United into life and put United on the front foot. There was times when United had Tevez in the ranks, and you'd throw him on, and it would just instantly, the crowd has gone up a level. Everyone on the pitch is like, look at this dickhead running around like this. We're going to have to start running around like this as well. And Laimer's got that sort of innate ability to raise everybody else around him, whilst also just cutting about the place like an absolute Duracell bunny himself. Capable of playing anywhere in the middle of the park. 5 goals, 6 assists. Obviously known for lung-busting abilities, but he gets forward because of those lung-busting abilities. Really progressive when he plays the ball, and obviously all action. He's good as on the ball as he is off the ball, and he's often been one of Bundesliga's best midfielders at being press resistant, which is ideal. He might be really good at pressing, but he's also really good at escaping pressing as well, and you can't really argue with that, especially the way the game looks like it's trending to go. According to the metrics, he's the same profile type, archetype of player as a Jude Bellingham. Who's a bloody good footballer, but he's probably going to cost you 4 times as much. Bargain. Last one then is Carlos Soler from Valencia. Again, 25 years of age, right midfield, central midfield, around about 40 million you're looking at for him. 12 goals and 5 assists this season make him top 5 in Europe for goal involvements from central midfield. That's worth taking note of. Set piece specialist, peach of a right foot. Delivery is ridiculous when he's in the wider areas, which is why sometimes you see him sort of drift out into sort of right midfield kind of territory. And he's got an engine. He's got vision, he's got composure on the ball, which obviously gives him an edge over players in the moment. And one aspect that stands out is the versatility of him. He's probably the only player in Valencia that's capable of playing as a 6, as an 8, as a 10, as a deep line playmaker, as a wide midfielder. And he can do that because he's got technique, he's got vision, he's got range, he's got sensational ball control, and it gives him variety in his game. He is the classic profile of that sort of attacking midfielder, Spanish kind of player, that's just like a technical monster. He does like to press. He keeps the ball under pressure as well when other people are hitting him. He likes to dribble when he wants to break defensive lines as well as pass. And he has a little bit of differences as well. So he started his career as a striker. So it's no shocks, I don't think, that he added some goals and some assists to his game. And some of the moves and decisions that he makes, you can tell that he's played a little bit higher up the pitch. They're reminiscent of a winger or reminiscent of a striker, but They're all positive traits to add to his game. And if he was looking for goals from midfield, and I'm not sure United are definitely looking for goals from midfield in a big way, but it doesn't hurt if you're spreading the goals around the team. If you wanted goals from midfield, it'd be an excellent choice to bring in. So that's what I think anyway. There's a handful of names of players that could be available for very, very, very good prices. Good age profiles as well. You're looking at players that have got experience and you should really know what you're getting out of them. They're not really big risks. They're really, really good footballers and they could really add a lot to Manchester United. Give us a shout in the comments. Any more that have only got 12 months left to go, stick them in the comments. Let me know about them and let me know how you think they would do at United. But cheers for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those